Your helicopter awaits.
Mm.
Check it out! Bart's a superstar too!
It was.
This ain't no genius copter. This is Con Air!
Take it away, Willie.
Welcome to another School Principal Reacts. My name is Brandon, and I'm a high school principal from the U.S. state of Georgia. I'm doing another episode of The Simpsons. This one is from much later in the series, from season 20. It's called How the Test is Won. I don't know very much about this episode at all. I did just listen to a few 4 or 5 second clips of it. It's been interesting to see how different these later ones are than the beginning couple of seasons. This one, I'm guessing, is going to be about high stakes testing. I'm really interested to see what this one is like. Let's get into it. Just a reminder, if you're enjoying these videos, please consider subscribing.
Welcome to another school year. One important note, the flower-based names of the reading groups are now barnyard-based. Mr. Becker has protested the move, so his group will remain the Daffodils. Yeah! Where my dills at?
Go Dills! Go Dills! Go Dills!
I never tire of that. One other announcement. At the end of the month, we'll be participating in the Vice President's Assessment Test.
He stinks!
We're assessing you, not him.
Withdrawn.
VPAT is
He said, we're assessing it's the vice president assessment, and he stands up and just says, he stinks. That's his assessment of him. That's pretty funny. Yeah, so I can see already this is going to be poking fun at, or I don't know, raising a concern, raising an issue about standardized testing. I'm interested to see. And by the way, a meeting with the principal like this at the very beginning of the year, particularly the first day, is pretty common. I do it.
part of the federal government's No Child Left Alone Act. It'll be a rewarding day of pencil sharpening and
No child left alone. So obviously, this is poking fun at the No Child Left Behind Act of around 2000, 2001-ish. I don't remember the exact year that it came about. No Child Left Behind was, of course, replaced not too long ago at all by the Every Student Succeeds Act. So let's see what he's going to do with this here.
part of the federal government's No Child Left Alone Act. It'll be a rewarding day of pencil sharpening and eyes on your own paper keeping.
Cut the horse bull, Seymour. Your scores on this test will determine how much money this suck shack gets for years to come. So we will spend every moment of the next 2 weeks drilling the questions and answers into your soft little skulls.
Shy is too gregarious, as peaceful is too bellicose.
Alphabet soup. Okay. Yeah, I see what they're doing here. So it is true that most states, it's usually at the state level. The No Child Left Behind Act was a federal education law, which had an effect on all the states, but a lot of this high stakes testing that they're sort of poking fun at typically occurs at the state level. Here in Georgia, that's no exception. And they're particularly during this era, and even some now, there's an effort to, okay, let's make every single thing about our school related to doing well on this particular test. I don't really believe in that. I think if you just focus on the things you need to focus on with appropriate remediation, enrichment, etc., that you'll do just fine. I don't believe in making every single facet of the school about, for instance, math and reading. There are other ways to do it. You don't have to make everything. You saw in the music class, they were doing, analogies with advanced vocabulary. It's just not necessary. You don't have to make everything about increasing your vocabulary or reading comprehension. Now, it is true that literacy sort of touches everything. And you do sort of need it for everything that you do, simply because you're going to have to read and explain and discuss and use words in most every class, but they're taking it way too far here. You see with the alphabet soup.
Okay, Okay, children, the answers to the standardized test fall into 12 basic patterns. Repeat after me.
Oh.
Dabica, akakaka.
Oh, that's horrible. So again, they're poking fun at this idea of ultra preparation and importance placed on this test. And, schools are judged on that. That is true. But the important thing is that students learn. And well, how do you know if they learn? You have to do some sort of assessment. Now, I do think a lot of places go too far with placing importance on this assessment. It is important because for most schools, it's one of the primary ways where you really get a concrete sense of, did these students learn the state standards or did they not? Not questions on the test, but the standards. If you don't know what that is, every course that you take, elementary through high school, is going to have course standards, which basically tells you, hey, this is what is supposed to be learned in this particular course.
Dabica, a kakaka.
Number 2, dakaka, a dada, batacat.
Dabica, a dada, batacat.
Biggest city in Montana.
Helena?
Wrong. Huh.
And there are practice tests. You saw him holding like a study guide or a practice test. Those do exist, and teachers do use those. And teachers also study things like, okay, what percentage of the test is about this standard, or what percentage of the test is on this, general topic. That is true. I've never seen a PE coach pelt students with dodgeballs for getting questions wrong. I guess even he's doing his part to help the students do well on this particular test, I suppose.
912 divided by 6.
You can't teach this way.
Yes, I can. Ha!
Oh!
Study show it works. Wah!
Where were these studies conducted?
Ball State.
Ball State.
So when you take your practice
So he questioned the validity of his methods. Where were these studies conducted? Ball State. Just pelting him with balls.
test, take your number 2 pencil and
What kind
Oh
of
my
pencil do we
goodness.
take again?
number
This is giving me almost like test PTSD, if you will, because there was I remember going through it myself. The tests were all different, of course, at that time, but there being such a big deal about, okay, let's do, bubble in our bubbles, and this is how you do it. Now it's mostly done on computers. But back in the day, it was all paper and pencil, and it was very important. You bubble it this way, and if you bubble it the other way, you're going to get the question wrong, even if you got the question right. And I remember, not quite to this degree, but being given demonstrations by the teacher. This is how you bubble it, and if you bubble it some other kind of way, you're going to, ruin your life because you'll, mess up your test. That did hit home for me.
number 2. Take a number 2.
Looks like you took a big number 2.
Yes, quite so. As you can see, I'm holding a big number 2 in my hands, enjoying the weight and feel of it. Bart, we need to talk to you about your practice test.
I warned you.
You got a perfect score.
Huh?
Wonderful job, son. Just stellar.
How did I do?
96.
What did I get wrong?
Several answers.
Several? That's more than a few, and almost a bunch.
Bart, because of your superior intellect.
No, but wait, I aced the math part, right?
Yeah,
Because
run along now.
Oh, no, it's
Bart, you and the other perfect scoring superstars are exempt from taking the actual test today.
no test?
Don't be too disappointed. We are throwing you a pizza party at a bowling alley.
Well, it's about time.
Come, your helicopter awaits.
Mm.
Check it out! Bart's a superstar too!
Yeah, I'll wrote
Bart's here!
Flirt my
Awesome.
snot or
Wait a
whatever
minute.
it was.
This ain't no genius copter. This is Con Air.
Take it away, Willie.
Enjoy your flight.
Brilliant plan to remove all the underperformers for test days, sir.
Oh, that's perfect. So, so if you didn't follow that, they made it sound like everybody who wrote that or did really, really poorly on the test did really well, and said, "Oh, We're throwing you a pizza party at a bowling alley, lured them to a fake helicopter that was really a bus that they will use to take them away from the school on test day so that their school will look better. Wow. Yeah, and it's poking fun, but just like in true Simpsons fashion, it's poking fun at real life things. There have been people that have cheated on even the state testing. There was a story in Atlanta, Atlanta Public Schools some years ago, and some people actually did jail time, I believe, for a cheating scandal. Even, the principals, some of the principals were complicit in allowing cheating, unethical, obviously, and totally not worth it. But there have been instances of cheating. Now here in Georgia, they actually amended the older educator code of ethics to include test security and things like this. Cheating, you can get in some pretty serious trouble for being found guilty of cheating on these assessments.
Yes, all of them. Why, Seymour, it seems I left my sunglasses on the bus.
Well, I'd best retrieve them.
Uh-oh.
Yes, you'd best.
Sir?
So long, superstars.
Oh, Skinner. They got Skinner too. Can't say I blame them.
I can't believe it. Superintendent Chalmers betrayed me after all the wrapping paper I bought from his daughter.
No.
Pizza party! Pizza party! Helicopter!
Yeah, so wrapping papers are a very common school fundraiser item.
Helicopter! Stop it, all of you.
What's the matter, superstar? Feeling sorry for the normals?
Don't you get it? There is no pizza party. This isn't a helicopter.
No pizza party?
Not a helicopter. Huh? Let me explain this to you in terms even the simplest will understand. We're hiding you in Capital City for the day so your numbskullery won't drag down the test scores of the children who are our future.
Told ya.
Will there be other numbskulls there? Sort of a numbskull Olympics, as it were? Let's all act stupid. Guys, save it for the competition.
Now, I know some of you may suffer from test anxiety. Here's a helpful hint. Imagine each question is a baby chick. If you answer wrong, the chick dies.
Oh,
Or shut
that's awful.
up. They would have died anyway. Now, the test will begin in 5, 4, 3. We should have begun 4 minutes ago. Go, 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 go!
You can do it, Lisa. There's nothing in the room but you and the test.
And by the way, test anxiety is very real. I talk to students and parents all the time who say, well, I'm just not a good test taker. And there is some validity to that. However, I'll admit I've never had anybody say I'm a great test taker. I think to a degree we all struggle with that. There's a certain level of anxiety just knowing, hey, this is a very important exam. But all you can do is get a good night's sleep, make sure and eat a good breakfast, come in rested, and just do your best. Mm-hmm. What?
Focus.
Pride downfall. And by the way, you saw that, I don't know what was with the kid pogoing outside. So typically on test day, an entire school is going to, if there's some sort of state testing, the entire school is going to be doing that all at the same time. Or at the very least, if there's some part of the school that isn't, they're not going to be just doing their normal activities. The school almost kind of stops and focuses on the testing. Typically, the state, which is the level that these assessments typically happen, your state is going to give you a window, hey, you can have the test anytime between this day and this day, whether it's 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever. And then the schools or school district is going to decide, hey, this is when we're going to do it. And the school doesn't shut down, but it just focuses on getting that testing done, which is very important. I think the school here is taking it way too far, though.
Pride is to downfall, as overconfidence is to. What? They're all equally valid. But that can't be. In life, everything only has one answer.
Piece of cake, huh? Ah, I'm writing on my shirt.
Question 2. Question 2. Using what you learned in question 1.
Lisa, like Captain Kirk, I'm not supposed to interfere. But like TJ Hooker, I say what is on my mind. If you don't know the answer, just guess.
This test penalized.
Oh yeah. So a couple of things here. So when he's throwing out these hints, you're not allowed to do that. There have been people that have gotten in trouble for not exactly cheating, not exactly giving answers, but giving, let's call it guidance or suggestions or little subtle hints. You're not allowed to do that. People have gotten in some pretty serious trouble. And then there have been people who've outright cheated. So you have to be really careful. There's a lot of training that goes into giving these assessments, and test security is a really, really big deal. So you can't mess around with that. Also, if you noticed when Lisa just let out a scream, I have seen things like that. I saw one time at another school I was at, we had it was a high school, and we had a lot of AP classes. I saw a young man get so he had a few issues to begin with, but he got so freaked out during an AP exam, advanced placement. If you know anything about those, you know they're very, very strict, very, very serious. You can't just leave, and there's very strict regulations even about going to the bathroom, because people will try to cheat because you can get college credit for the AP exam. Young man got up. He got so stressed out. He got up, turned in his test, which you're not supposed to just get up anyway. And he left the testing room, which you're not supposed to do. And he walked right off the school campus out into the city and went missing for a period of time because he got so freaked out by the AP exam. So testing anxiety is a very real thing. But Lisa seems to be doing okay so far. Let's see what happens.
Is guessing.
It does? All right, nobody guess. Just be right.
All done. Then I've got 2 minutes to take care of these stray marks.
Stray marks.
Well, that's it. The test is almost over, and I haven't done a thing. I've blown my whole future.
Right.
Oh, well. Maybe it'll be more fun to be a regular, average, stay-at-home.
This test is a joke.
Huh?
Skinner?
Today, I received an education in how children really learn by seeing their principal run around on top of a shipping container. So, children, put down your answer sheet and drop that number 2. Yes, I know what that means. I've learned so much today. This is my school, and I'm throwing out the test.
Can't do that.
Hooray! I'm a brainy outcast again!
And finally, effective immediately, I'm overturning this school's ban on dancing.
So loose. Chat. Yeah, so they just kind of the plot just kind of ends right there. They just don't take the test, and that's it. So in reality, you wouldn't be able to do that. I mean, every state's a little bit different. Here in Georgia, we do have something called the Georgia Milestones Assessment, which is basically our state tests that we have for students who are in certain grade levels and certain subjects in high school, and you are required to have students take that assessment. I've never seen, I do like the little dance party at the end. I've never seen a superintendent dance like that. I have seen a couple of principals dance around. I am not so good at dancing, so I don't do it, but most don't. I'm going to go ahead and leave the video right there. I do hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed this one. This one had probably more true to life stuff than some of the other ones. I did notice a huge difference between this one, which is season 20, versus some of the other ones I've done in like season 2 or 3. Very, very different style, a lot more kind of cleaned up and kind of what most people are used to with the Simpsons. Classic Simpsons style, though, they're taking some realities of life and education and poking fun at it in sort of a hyperbolic way. But I really enjoyed this one. If you're still enjoying these videos, let me know in the comments or suggest the next video. I do pay attention to those comments and suggestions. In the meantime, also consider subscribing, and I'll see you on the next video on School Principal Reacts. Thanks for watching.